The 12 apostles of Jesus were ordinary people from diverse backgrounds, such as fishermen, farmers, and craftsmen. They left everything to follow their teacher and became witnesses to Jesus' resurrection. They were called to spread the gospel throughout the world. However, their testimony was not without challenges. They faced persecution and martyrdom for their faith, sacrificing their lives for their love of Christ. Their deaths were not due to natural causes. Each one stands as a clear testament to their loyalty to their teacher and the extreme cruelty that humans can inflict upon one another. If you are curious about the fate of the 12 apostles and think you know how they died, you are entirely mistaken. The lives and deaths of these apostles are shrouded in mystery, controversy, and many stories. In this video, I will explore all the details recorded in the Bible, as well as information reported by the church and historians. Therefore, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and watch this video until the end. John the Apostle. John is a central and mysterious figure in biblical stories. He was the son of Zebedee and Salome, and the brother of James, who was also an apostle. His story is marked by a particularly close relationship with Jesus, often described as the disciple whom Jesus loved. This special relationship gave John a unique perspective on the events and teachings of Jesus. Known for his spiritual sensitivity and deep understanding, John was extremely important in conveying Jesus' teachings. He was present at significant moments such as the Transfiguration and the Last Supper, where he sat next to his teacher. After Jesus' death, John played a crucial role in the early Christian community in Jerusalem. He witnessed Jesus' ascension and served as a vital link among the apostles. However, John's fate is shrouded in mystery and symbolism. John faced numerous persecutions, primarily orchestrated by Emperor Domitian, for preaching the gospel in Ephesus. According to tradition, John was arrested, tortured, and then thrown into a cauldron of boiling oil. However, God miraculously protected him, and he emerged unharmed. Following this miracle, the emperor ordered his exile to the island of Patmos, which was used as a prison in the Roman Empire. I emphasize that no Bible verse confirms or can be used as a reference to say that John was thrown into boiling oil before being sent to Patmos. What we have in this case is only the tradition of the so-called church fathers, who affirm this, no more, no less. In fact, the church fathers were zealous individuals who developed the theology still used by the church today. Many stories and details about the apostles' deaths were described by the church fathers and Christian doctrine. Later, John was exiled to the island of Patmos, where he received the visions of the apocalypse, compiled and recorded in the book of Revelation in the Bible. These revelations highlight his spiritual closeness and reveal profound teachings about the future. Regarding his death, Christian tradition states that, despite several execution attempts by Roman authorities, John died of natural causes. According to Bishop Polycarp of Ephesus, confirmed by Eusebius of Caesarea in his church history, the Apostle John died in Ephesus in Asia Minor around 100 AD, at approximately 94 years of age. However, it is said that his tomb was found empty when it was opened by Constantine for construction. In his later years, John was enveloped in wisdom gained through decades of reflection and service, becoming a pillar in the Christian community. His words, filled with spiritual depth, guided, corrected, and encouraged believers. His teachings, imbued with a life lived alongside Jesus, resonated with authority and love, strengthening the foundation of the emerging faith. In his final days, the beloved apostle reflected on the historical tapestry he had witnessed. From humble beginnings on the shores of Galilee to the complex intrigues in Ephesus, where the church struggled to maintain its identity in an often hostile world. In every word he wrote and every piece of advice he gave, John emphasized the core of the gospel, God's unconditional love manifested through Jesus Christ. He continually reminded the community of the importance of remaining faithful to the truth while urging love and unity, invoking Jesus' own prayer for his disciples to be one. John 17, verse 21. In the visions recorded in the book of Revelation, John provided the church with a vision of hope and triumph, even amidst persecution and suffering. He pointed to the ultimate victory of the Lamb, Jesus, over all evil forces. These symbolic visions served as a source of encouragement for Christians through the centuries, reminding them that no matter how great the adversity, the final victory belongs to God. In his final years, John left an invaluable legacy, not only as one of the founding apostles of the church, but also as an example of faith, love, and perseverance. Through his writings and the life he lived, he continues to inspire countless generations, always pointing to the redemptive and transformative love of Jesus Christ. James, son of Zebedee. James, son of Zebedee, was present at the Transfiguration, the resurrection of Jairus' daughter, and Jesus' intense suffering in the Garden of Gethsemane. His close relationship with John and Jesus himself highlights his prominent position among the apostles. His importance in the Bible is evidenced by his inclusion in the inner circle of the three apostles closest to Jesus, along with Peter and John. These three witnessed exclusive miracles and teachings, revealing the special trust Jesus placed in them. However, after Jesus' death, James' trajectory met a tragic end. In Acts 12 verses 1-2, it is recorded that Herod Agrippa, king of Judea, seeking to please the Jews, ordered James' execution, the brother of John. The king arrested several members of the church to persecute them and killed James by the sword. The story does not provide details about the exact method of execution, but tradition suggests that James was either beheaded or stabbed with a sword. It is important to note that there are two apostles named James in the Bible: James, son of Zebedee, whom we have discussed, and James, son of Alphaeus, also known as James the Less. The latter's active participation in the Gospels is relatively discreet and less clear compared to other apostles. After Jesus' death, information about James, son of Alphaeus, and his activities becomes even scarcer. However, Christian tradition holds that he played a role in spreading the gospel, possibly participating in missionary activities. Regarding the death of James, son of Alphaeus, the lack of specific details in the Bible and the variety of traditions make the story surrounding his death uncertain. However, most Christian teachings believe that James, son of Alphaeus, also died under Herod Agrippa's orders, publicly beheaded in Jerusalem. Images of James being beheaded are often found in paintings, sculptures, and other religious artifacts. However, other sources, such as a 1st century AD book called the Acts of the Apostles, suggest that James was thrown from the pinnacle of the Jerusalem temple and then stoned to death. In the 1st century, news of the death of James the Less, one of the early church's pillars, reverberated powerfully through the streets and markets. His martyrdom was not only a blow to the heart of Jesus' followers, but also a clear sign of the growing tension between the young church and the Jewish and Roman authorities. James' death was a defining moment, a turning point that reaffirmed the seriousness and cost of the Christian mission within the community of believers. The loss of James evoked a mixture of grief and determination. Peter and the other apostles, now more aware of the imminent danger, strengthened themselves in faith and resolved to continue the mission entrusted to them by Jesus. James' death was not in vain. It inspired a new wave of missionary work and witness among Christians. Though persecuted, the church began to spread beyond the borders of Jerusalem and Judea, to Samaria, and ultimately to the ends of the Roman Empire. The gospel message, nurtured by the blood of martyrs, found fertile ground in hearts yearning for hope and truth. Meanwhile, James the Less continued his discreet but significant ministry. Although the Bible provides little detail about his later actions, church tradition holds that he also played a vital role in spreading the faith. His quiet and persistent dedication contributed to the growth and strengthening of the Christian community during a time of turmoil and trial. The history of the two Jameses, each with their own path and destiny, became a source of inspiration for later generations of Christians. They represent the diverse callings within the church, one called to a public role and a tragic end, the other to a quieter but no less significant contribution. As we reflect on the lives of the apostles James, son of Zebedee, and James the Less, we are reminded that the path of discipleship can take many forms. Each, in their own way, embraced a call to follow Jesus, whether in the public arena enduring execution by the sword or in the quiet but essential shadows of faithful service. Their stories continue to resonate in the church's memory, reminding all believers that, regardless of the path we take, we are called to live and bear witness to our faith with courage, love, and unwavering loyalty. Peter, born in Galilee, was a fisherman before being called by Jesus to become a fisher of men. His original name, Simon, was later changed to Peter, meaning rock, symbolizing the steadfastness of the faith he would demonstrate throughout the Gospels. Peter is depicted as a zealous disciple, often impulsive, but wholeheartedly devoted to Jesus. He witnessed miracles such as walking on water and was the first to recognize Jesus as the Christ, the Son of the living God. Peter played a central role in the Last Supper and was highlighted as the leader of the apostles. His denial of Jesus during his arrest is a significant episode, followed by deep repentance and restoration by Jesus after the resurrection. After Jesus' death, Peter embarked on extensive missionary journeys across the vast territories of the Roman Empire to spread the gospel message. He eventually settled in Rome, where he assumed a leadership role in the Christian community. His role is evident in the book of Acts, where he played a crucial part in spreading the gospel, particularly to the Gentiles. In 64 AD, Rome was ravaged by a great fire, triggering a series of events. Emperor Nero blamed Christians for the fire and initiated relentless persecution against them. Peter was eventually imprisoned and sentenced to death. Tradition recounts that Peter requested to be crucified upside down out of humility, believing he was unworthy to die in the same manner as his teacher. The chosen location for his crucifixion was Vatican Hill, where the magnificent St. Peter's Basilica stands today. Peter became one of the first martyrs of Christianity, significantly contributing to the spread of the gospel worldwide. His death is seen as a courageous and ultimate testament to his unwavering faith in Jesus Christ. History tells us that during this persecution, many Christians endured horrific forms of torture and execution, but the faith of the community remained steadfast, often strengthened by the example of courage and sacrifice from leaders like Peter. As the flames of persecution burned, the faith of Christians spread even more intensely, a fire that could not be extinguished, defying oppression and death. Peter's decision to be crucified upside down, as tradition recounts, was not only an act of humility, but also a powerful testament to his devotion to Jesus. This choice reflects the profound transformation that occurred in Peter's life, from his first encounter on the shores of Galilee as a disciple to becoming a pillar of the church, a leader whose faith and conviction guided countless others in their journey with Jesus. Peter's death was not an end, but a new beginning. His story, marked by his failures and triumphs, became a source of inspiration and encouragement for all Christians. His journey, marked by denial and restoration, courage and sacrifice, resonates through the centuries, reminding us that God's grace and love are sufficient to transform and strengthen even the weakest hearts. Judas Thaddeus. Emperor Nero also appears to be responsible for the death of the apostle Judas Thaddeus, also known as Lebbeus Thaddeus or Judas, son of James. Although one of the least mentioned apostles in the Bible, his contributions and legacy are significant. At the Last Supper, Judas Thaddeus asked about the meaning of Jesus' words, demonstrating a sincere desire to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. After Jesus' death, he continued to play an essential role in spreading the gospel, particularly in regions like Mesopotamia and Persia. His importance in the Bible is evident in his epistle, where he is recognized as the author of a short but powerful letter addressed to Christians. In this letter, he urges believers to remain steadfast in their faith and practice brotherly love. Regarding Judas Thaddeus' death, Christian tradition varies on the details. One story suggests he was martyred alongside Simon, while another indicates he was stoned to death. Other sources claim Judas Thaddeus was killed by being hacked with an axe, a brutal form of execution at the time. Regardless of the specific details, his death is generally regarded as a testament to his dedication and loyalty to Jesus Christ. Judas Thaddeus is revered as one of the patron saints of lost causes and desperate situations, symbolizing the hope that persists even in the most challenging circumstances. Andrew, the brother of Simon Peter, though often overshadowed by more prominent apostles, shared a special, close relationship with Jesus from the beginning. Andrew was a disciple of John the Baptist before following Jesus. He is often associated with significant moments in the Gospels, such as the miracle of the loaves and fishes, where he offered Jesus a boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish, becoming an instrument of divine power. Andrew's importance in the Bible is also evident in the list of the 12 apostles, where he is consistently mentioned among the first. After Jesus' death, he continued to spread early Christianity. His missionary journeys took him to various regions, including Scotland and Greece, where he is traditionally considered the founder of the Church of Constantinople. Regarding Andrew's death, Christian tradition holds that he faced martyrdom by crucifixion in Patras, Greece. Before his crucifixion, Andrew endured prolonged torture, being brutally beaten. His crucifixion had a unique aspect. He was crucified on an X-shaped cross, later known as St. Andrew's Cross. It is believed that Andrew, like Peter, requested to be crucified in this manner because he felt unworthy to die in the same way as Jesus. His relics were discovered centuries later and transported by sea to Scotland, though the ship carrying them sank. Philip from Bethsaida, the same city as Peter and Andrew, was called by Jesus to follow him. His specific identification in the Gospels as Philip of Bethsaida highlights his origin and distinguishes him from others with the same name. Philip is often linked to significant episodes in the biblical narrative. In one such instance, Jesus asked Philip to address the challenge of feeding a crowd, testing his faith. Philip's response reflected a human perspective when faced with a seemingly insurmountable challenge. He assessed the situation, considering the available material resources, and replied to Jesus that 200 denarii worth of bread would not be enough for everyone to receive a portion. Despite human logic, Jesus took the bread and fish, gave thanks, and distributed them miraculously. The bread and fish multiplied, feeding not only 5,000 men, but also women and children, with 12 baskets of leftovers collected even after everyone had eaten. After Jesus' death, Philip continued to play a significant role in spreading the gospel. His missionary journeys took him to various regions, including Samaria, where he performed miracles and baptized many in the name of Jesus. The New Testament provides little information about the Apostle Philip's death. Information about his death relies primarily on church tradition, and there is no clear consensus on the details. Records state that Philip died by crucifixion and stoning in Hierapolis, Asia Minor, around 80 AD during the persecution of Christians under the Roman Emperor Domitian. Simon the Zealot, known as Simon the Zealot, is one of the apostles whose biblical story is marked by a unique identity and fervent commitment to his principles. Little is known about Simon's life before Jesus called him. His designation as a zealot suggests he may have been associated with the religious political group known as the Zealots, noted for their zealous dedication to Israel's independence. This affiliation implies a fervent nationalism before he encountered Jesus. Details about Simon the Zealot's death are scarce in the Bible. Most records state that Simon was brutally tortured during the persecution of Christians under the Roman Emperor Trajan. Bartholomew is one of the 12 apostles chosen by Jesus. His initial encounter with Jesus is described in the Gospel of John, where Philip introduced him to Jesus, and Jesus welcomed him as a man without deceit. After Jesus' death, the apostle traveled to India to preach the gospel. He succeeded in converting many to Christianity, which drew the attention of King Astyages, a pagan who was furious about Bartholomew's preaching. The king ordered his imprisonment and execution. Regarding Bartholomew's death, historical information is limited, and Christian tradition offers various accounts. One story states that Bartholomew faced martyrdom when, according to Orthodox Christian tradition, in 51 AD, He was flayed alive before being crucified upside down because he refused to renounce his faith in Jesus Christ. His body was publicly displayed as a warning to other Christians. Matthew, the apostle and evangelist, was known as Levi, a tax collector in Capernaum, before being called by Jesus. His profession placed him in a position often despised by society, but his life changed dramatically when Jesus called him to follow him. Matthew's most enduring contribution was recording his testimony in written form as the Gospel, which became a fundamental part of the New Testament. According to ancient Christian tradition, Matthew continued to preach the Gospel after Jesus' ascension. Records indicate that he preached in various regions, including Ethiopia and Persia, modern-day Iran. Regarding his death, there are several accounts, but the most prevalent tradition states that Matthew was martyred in the city of Nablus, located in Ethiopia, while celebrating Massachusetts. He was killed by the sword. His life is a testament to his faith in Jesus Christ. Matthew, the apostle and evangelist, left an indelible impact on Christianity. His gospel remains a vital source of wisdom and guidance, and his life serves as an example of how God's transformative grace can change a human heart and use it for the glory of the kingdom of heaven. Matthew's story is a reminder that God calls all people, regardless of their past or social status, to participate in his redemptive work in the world. Thomas, also known as Thomas Didymus or Thomas the Twin, was one of the 12 apostles chosen by Jesus. Originally a fisherman in Galilee, Thomas stands out in the Gospels for his sincerity and occasional hesitation in believing extraordinary events. His nickname Didymus, the Twin, suggests he may have been a twin, though the identity of his supposed twin is not specified in the Bible. After Jesus' death, Thomas expressed doubt about the resurrection, declaring he would only believe after touching Jesus' wounds. This skepticism earned him the nickname Doubting Thomas. Subsequently, his encounter with Jesus, where he was invited to touch the wounds, and his confession of faith proclaiming, "My Lord and my God," not only highlight Jesus' mercy, but also the importance of overcoming doubt and finding profound faith. Information about Thomas's later life is limited. Christian tradition suggests he engaged in missions in India, spreading the gospel message. According to this account, Thomas was martyred by spearing in Chennai, India, after a successful missionary effort. Judas Iscariot. Finally, Judas Iscariot, a name that echoes through the centuries as a synonym for betrayal, is a prominent figure in the Gospels as the apostle who handed Jesus over to the religious authorities. He was a native of Kerioth, which gave him the designation Iscariot. Little is known about his life before becoming a disciple of Jesus. His selection as one of the 12 apostles indicates that he initially shared the same calling and purpose as the other followers of Jesus. The tragic moment that marked Judas' history occurred during the Last Supper, as recorded in the Gospels. Satan entered Judas, leading him to betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. He later identified Jesus to the religious leaders with a kiss, signaling who should be arrested. What motivated Judas' betrayal remains a complex and speculative question. Some point to possible disappointments or unmet expectations regarding an earthly kingdom they anticipated. Other hypotheses suggest financial motives or evil influences. After the betrayal, Judas' life spiraled into tragedy. Realizing the consequences of his actions, he attempted to return the 30 pieces of silver to the religious leaders. Unable to cope with his guilt and remorse, Judas died in tragic circumstances. Christian tradition often emphasizes Judas' tragic end as a reminder of the severity of betrayal, but it also sheds light on the tension between human free will and divine plans. His death by hanging, as recorded, occurred in a field called the Field of Blood or the Potter's Field. This area, purchased with the 30 pieces of silver Judas returned, is located near the Hinnom Valley in Jerusalem. The field was originally an empty plot used for burying foreigners and criminals who died in the city. It was named the Field of Blood, evoking the blood of Jesus shed as part of Judas' betrayal. Beyond its association with betrayal, this field also became a symbol of repentance and redemption. Judas Iscariot's death is recorded in the New Testament, specifically in the Gospel of Matthew and the Book of Acts. The accounts differ slightly in detail, but converge on the same tragic outcome. According to Matthew 27 verses 3 to 5, after betraying Jesus, Judas repented and tried to return the 30 pieces of silver to the religious leaders. However, they refused the money. Overwhelmed with remorse, Judas threw the coins into the temple, left, and met a tragic end. The account in Acts 1 verses 18 to 19 offers a slightly different version, describing Judas, after repenting, suffering a severe accident that caused significant bodily harm. Despite minor differences, both accounts point to the same sorrowful conclusion, marked by deep remorse and despair. Judas' story serves as a sobering reminder of the consequences of betrayal and the weight of regret without hope and forgiveness. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and click on one of the 2 videos that will appear to continue watching us. And may God be with you.